exactly. But yeah, jumping in. Get to it. Let's get this done. So I can understand everything. Having half a knowledge of something is a little frustrating. Okay, add score text and position it on the screen. This is
Play.
new. All
Whenever we
new.
click on one of the objects, they
I did
disappear.
start this to check the volume and it is loud.
We have the core mechanics of our game down, so when we press play, whenever we click on one of the objects, they disappear from the scene, and then if we let our objects fall off, they start getting removed from the scene because of our sensor. Now, to make this game even more interactive, we're actually going to create our first user interface to be able to actually get the score of our game. In order to do that, we're going to go to our project hierarchy. We're going to click on the create button. We're going to go to the UI, and we're going to select Text Mesh Pro. Now, the first time you do this, it might ask you to import the Text Mesh Pro Essentials. So just make sure that you do that by clicking on the Import TMP Essentials button. Now, Text Mesh Pro has been added to our project. Now, Text Mesh Pro is a really cool feature in Unity to be able to add different user interface or UI elements, adding text to our games. So it makes it very helpful and easy to manage. One of the things you might notice you can kind of see, it's very difficult to see. In fact, Unity has, in our scene, added an entirely new element to our game. So you can see here, down in the lower left, that tiny little box is actually our game scene. And this massive rectangle here is actually where all of our different text and UI elements are going to be. In fact, if we actually drag this, and we'll make sure that we have our move tool selected, we can actually move this over to different parts of our screen. We'll just undo that for now. Now, all of our text and our UI elements are going to be rendered on this thing called a canvas. Now, this canvas is actually where all of our different elements are going to go. So if we add in buttons or if we add in other text, it'll all be held on our canvas, which is the place where it manages all of our different UI elements. Now, with our Text Mesh Pro text underneath the canvas, we're actually going to rename this. So we'll rename it to score text. And you can see here that this has a pretty strange position on our scene, and we can move it around using our move tool, or we can do other things with our canvas here to be able to place our text in certain locations to make it easier. In our inspector for our score text, there's this little box on the left-hand side for our anchors. Now with the canvas, we can actually anchor our text in certain positions on the screen and base them off of those positions' values. It's particularly useful if you're doing something with different screen sizes. So, for example, somebody might play this game on a phone, which is a very small screen, and it could either be horizontal or vertical. So it'll have different space on the side of your game. Versus in our current game scene, we can see the sides of the box pretty easily. But if we always want to make sure that our text is always in the top left, we can anchor our text using this anchors box, and it'll have you select different options. So in fact, you can immediately select, for example, I want my text to always be anchored to the top left of our scene instead of in the middle. And now you can see that the X and the Y positions have actually changed. If I go back to what it was by default, if I do the top left, you can see that it changes the X and the Y. If I move the text over to make it fit the scene, now you can see it pretty nicely. Just make sure we align that properly. So what'll happen is if I ever resize my screen, our text will always try to go to that position where we've set it in our canvas. So very helpful. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go into your hierarchy, right click, you're going to go down to UI, select Text Mesh Pro Text. Once you've selected that, it will probably prompt you to install Text Mesh Pro, so make sure you do that if you haven't done it before. Once it does that, you will then have a canvas object, and underneath the canvas object, if you expand it, you'll see score text. Just make sure that you rename the text element to be score text, and then go into the rect transform component, select the anchors, and you're going to select the top left anchor preset, and then just make sure that you reposition your new text to the top left corner using the move tool, so that way it's always bound to the top left corner and it's not just awkwardly sitting in the middle of your screen. Now it's your turn.
Sorry about that. All right. So, I'm gonna rename this score text. And that already zoomed out. Why is it extremely large? Oh, that doesn't work like that. Does this work like this? Okay. Nope. So then lock it right here. Oh, that didn't move. Rename the object. Then zoom out to see the canvas in scene view. So, oh my goodness. I just realized, I guess affiliate means they run ads. I don't know how I feel about that. So, why is this not moving? Just stupid anchor points. Sorry. I'm
But if we
sleepy and
always want to make sure
frustrated.
that our text is always in the top left, we can anchor our text using this anchors box, and it'll have you select different options. So in fact, you can immediately select, for example, I want my text to always be anchored to the top left of our scene instead of in the middle. And now you can see that the X and the Y positions have actually changed. If I go back to what it was by default, if I do the top left, you can see that it changes the X and the Y. If I
Yeah, too
move
bad I
the
can't see
text
the
over
example. Okay.
to make it fit the scene, now you can see it pretty nicely. Just make sure we line that properly. So what will happen is if I ever resize my screen, our text will always try to go to that position where we set it
Huh.
in our canvas. So very helpful. So
Oh.
what you're going to do now is you're going to go into
Huh?
your hierarchy, right click, you're going to go down to UI, select Text Mesh Pro, Text. Once you've selected that, it will probably prompt you to install Text Mesh Pro, so make sure you do that if you haven't done it before. Once it does that, you will then have a canvas object, and underneath the canvas object, if you expand it, you'll see score text. Just make sure that you rename the text element to be score text, and then go into the rect transform component, select the anchors, and you're going to select the top left anchor preset, and then just make sure that you reposition your new text to the top left corner using the move tool, so that way it's always bound to the top left corner and it's not just awkwardly sitting in the middle of your screen. Now it's your turn.
And it didn't work. Hmm. Do I need to do this one? Right? No. move forward.
Now we've added Text Mesh Pro to our project and we've created our score text and repositioned it. Now other things that we can do with our Text Mesh Pro elements is we have this section down here and we can actually change the text. So what it will set it to be for now will just be score colon and keep track of the score. Under main settings, you can see that we can change the font. So if you click on this little circle icon, it'll bring up different options that you can choose from. Kind of like this indie flower one, so we'll use that one. You can select different things like if you want it to be bold or if you want it to be italicized. I kind of just like it fine for now. You can even change the font size, so if I wanted to change it to something to be even larger, or if I want to make it smaller, 20, make it really tiny. And then if you want to, you can change the vertex color, so actually if you just click on the white box, you can actually change the color of your font too, so if you want it to be red, like bright red, or really dark black, if you're on a white background, whichever one. But I think white is totally fine for now, so we'll just leave it for white. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the score text, change the text in your text box to be score colon, and then what you can do is select one of your font assets using this little circular radio button to be whatever font you'd like it to be. You can make your font bold or italic or underlined. You can change the font size, and then if you want, you can change the vertex color by clicking on the white box and selecting any one of the different colors that you might like. So, now it's your turn.
Still wondering what's keeping mine from moving when it zooms. Or maybe does it have to be in play mode? Alright.
So, in our project, we've set up Text Mesh Pro and added a text element to our scene, so that way we can actually keep track of our score. Now what we're going to do is we actually need to use code and a variable to keep track of and update this score text whenever we need it. To do that, we're going to go into our game manager script. Now, one of the first things that we actually need to do in our script is we need to take advantage of these using keywords up here. Now, this entire time, as we've been doing our project, we've had these statements at the top of our program the entire time. Using is a special keyword in C# that enables you to import other libraries and packages into the current script that you're editing. It's particularly useful in cases where you import other libraries that you weren't initially using before. In our case, we've been using some of the standard C# libraries that we've needed, as well as we've actually been importing all of the different Unity methods and classes that we were using before. Different things like game objects or mono behavior. Since we're using Text Mesh Pro, we actually need to import another package to do so. So we're going to type in using and then tm pro. So now our project will be using all of the different classes and methods for text mesh so that we can actually interact with them and control our user interface. At the top of our class, we're going to declare a new variable. So this will be public. So we can assign it in the inspector. It'll be a text
Oops.
mesh pro UGUI, and we'll call it the score text. So this will be the text that we created before. On top of that, we'll need an actual variable to store our score. So it'll be a private, it'll be a whole number, so we'll make it an integer,
Oh, okay.
and
I'm in the
then
wrong
we'll call
place.
it score.
So I looked
In
weird.
our start method, we'll make sure that we set score to 0 so that TextMesh Pro won't have any issues in using it. And then underneath that, we'll actually use our score text variable. And in this case, we actually have to use the text itself. So we actually have to use .text to be able to set the text. And we'll set it to be score as a string literal, colon, space. and then we're going to concatenate, in this case, our score variable. So as we update the score variable, it should change later. Now, in Unity, make sure that in your project hierarchy in the game manager, you assign the score text underneath the canvas into the score text in our game manager script. And now when we save, press play, you can see that our score is immediately set to 0. So what you're going to do is in your game manager script, at the top of the script, add a using TM Pro underneath all the other using statements. For our variables in our script, we're going to create a public text mesh pro UGUI as well as a private integer
GUI.
for our score. In our start method, we're going to
I'm a
set score
child.
to be 0, and for our score text
I'm
variable,
spelling
we're
all this
going
wrong.
to get the text element, and we're going to set that to be score colon, and then concatenate on our score variable. Now it's your turn.
Right. Score. Let's see. Then inside start, just under that. So off on the side without stopping anything else. Score. Nope. Nope. Same mistake. And score. Oh, because that's the text. And then you're gonna, oh yeah, add the score that's stated above. Nope. That's it. No, if your score text is split up onto 2 lines, change the text wrapping setting to normal no wrap. Okay. Save. So it should say 0. Oh. It's like doing its little compiling thing. And then I'm gonna save it. No! What did I do wrong? Probably typed it wrong. Hmm? Oh, okay. I think it added that word, or I did. Okay, fingers crossed. No! It's SCORE. SCORE equals 0. Huh? Wait. Wait. Oh, I didn't write it up here, did I? Okay, yeah, I totally skipped that. It's like it doesn't exist. I better spell it right. Okay. Fingers crossed this time. It's doing something. Okay, yay. It is saying it's not assigned, but I'm sure I'm doing that like in the next steps. Okay, let's see. 0. Give me nothing, please. Mmm, it still didn't. Okay, what is this? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. What do you mean? Okay, at the top of the game manager, add using TM Pro. Declare the new public text mesh pro score text. I did. Then assign that variable in the inspector. I did not. I did not do that. Okay, so then assign the variable in the inspector. Game manager, text mesh pro, right here. So, um, wait a second. So it's the game object. Okay, that seems right. Now, I try to play. Um, it's not giving me 0, but it's giving me something. It, hmm. Okay, okay. That was so funny. Score. Okay, then assign that variable in the inspector. Let's watch this again. It's Monday.
Our start method will make sure that we set score to 0 so that TextMesh Pro won't have any issues in using it. And then underneath that, we'll actually use our score text variable.
Or did they do that
And in
already?
this case, we actually have to use the text itself. So we actually have to use .text to be able to set the text, and we'll set it to be score as a string literal colon space. And then we're going to concatenate, in this case, our score variable. So as we update the score variable, it should change later.
Should,
Now, in Unity, make sure that in your project hierarchy in the game manager, you assign the score text underneath the canvas into the score text in our game manager script. And now when we save, press play, you can see that our score is immediately set to 0.
yes, immediately.
So
Okay.
what you're going to do is in your game manager script, at the top of the script, add a using TM Pro underneath all of the other using statements. For our variables in our script, we're going to create a public text mesh pro UGUI, as well as
Why did it pause? Oh no, it just froze. Hmm. Oh sorry. I can't even refresh. Ah, I went full screen. Okay. This okay. Minor technical difficulties. That's fine where I left off. This one right here. Now where, oh where? Is this it? No. Huh?
so. In our project, we've set up TextMesh
Yes.
Pro and added a text element to our scene, so that way we can actually keep track of our score Now what we're going to do is we actually need to use code and a variable to keep track of and update this score text whenever we need it. To do that, we're going to go into our game manager script. Now, one of the first things that
I
we
don't know what I
actually
did
will
wrong.
do in
I know I
our
skipped
script
something. I had to have
is we
skipped
need to
something.
take advantage of these using keywords up here. Now, this entire time, as we've been doing our project, we've had these statements at the top of our program the entire time. Using is a special
I can't help
into the
myself.
current script that you're editing. It's particularly useful in cases where you import other standard C Unity methods. We're using text mesh pro and then TM pro. So now our project will be using all of the different classes and methods for text mesh so that we can actually interact with them and control our user interface. At the top of our class, we're going to declare a new variable. So this will be public, so we can assign it in the inspector. It'll be a text mesh pro UGUI, and we'll call it the score text. So this will be the text that we created before. On top of that, we'll need an actual variable to store our score. So it'll be a private, it'll be a whole number, so we'll make it an integer, and then we'll call it score. In our start method, we'll make sure that we set score to 0 so that TextMesh Pro won't have any issues in using it. And then underneath that, we'll actually use our score text
I do
variable.
not see.
And in this case, we actually have to use the text itself. So we actually have to use .text to be able to set the text, and we'll set it to be score as a string literal colon space, and then we're going to concatenate, in this case, our score variable. So as we update the score
Ah,
variable, it should
wait,
change later.
wait. Did
Now,
they add
in Unity, make
the word text here? Ah, or I did. Finally. Oh my gosh. It's like you have to look letter by letter. Well, I do. Okay. Fingers crossed. No immediate. Oh, wait, no. Yay, no immediately read. Now, I'm hoping to see 0. A 0! Yay! Finally, I can move on. Okay. Whew, worked so hard to get nothing. Okay, create a new update score method. So, just as I figured, but hey, learning.
we've set up our game now so that our score text can actually use the score variable that we have in our game manager, but it doesn't actually do anything. So we're going to add in ways that we can actually update our score. In our game manager class, we're going to create another function so that we can actually update our score and then update our score text accordingly. If we create a new method, we'll make this void for now since it's just calculating our score and then updating something already. You don't need it to return any values. We'll call it update score. And then in our update score, we're just going to take out our score text where we update it here, cut it, and paste it into our update score. Now, every time we call update score, it's just going to tell us our current score, which isn't really that useful since our current score is 0 and it's not actually doing anything. So we're going to use parameters here so that we can actually add to our score every time, and then that way it'll update the score text here. So we'll use an integer and call it score to add. So this will be the score that we add into our current score every time. Now we need to actually update the score itself before we update the text, because that's what the text is using to actually change the score. So if we type score, and then we say plus equals the score to add, now it'll add whatever value we pass into our parameter onto our score, because remember, this is the same as saying score is set to score plus score to add. So the original score that we had plus the value that we pass in here. And so now it should update score. So now if we go to our start method, we should say update score. And we're not adding anything because it's the first time it's running. So it should just tell us the score, which should just be 0
Hey.
anyways. So if we play our game,
Hey, Pin. Good day to you, too. Hmm. I hope you had a good weekend.
you should just see 0. Cool. So we know that works. But we still need to update it.
Kind of like
So I
definitely
think a good place
slow
to
Monday morning
update
for
our
me.
score in
Although it's
our
not even the morning anymore.
game
But
manager is probably whenever we spawn a target. At least just for now, just to
hmm. Good. Excuse me. I'm happy. I'm just a little sleepy. Yeah. I uh I was like swimming all day every day. Um Friday from the afternoon on, all day Saturday, and then all morning Sunday. So yeah, I'm very tired, but it was nice to get out in nature and have a break. I was like, yeah, very happy. And I'm very rededicated to finishing this. I'm gonna do one unit on stream, but then when I get off stream, I'm finishing all the units today. I am done with this course. Wow, moving on. Thanks.
see that it works. So in here, every time we spawn a new enemy, we'll update our score. I'll just say 5 every time. So every time one of those blocks spawns, it should just add 5 to our score. So if we test this in our game, cool. So every time one of these blocks spawns, it adds 5 to our score every single time. So works for now. So what you're going to do in your game manager class is you're going to create your own update score method and pass in a parameter for the score to add. And then you're actually going to use some calculations so that we can take our current score and add in the score to add onto it already. And then using the line of code that we had in our start method before, we'll set our score text to be score concatenated with the new score that we updated. So now that we
Yeah,
start the game, makes
I did. I got affiliate after the last stream. I I was checking my email on Friday or I opened actually I opened Twitch because I was looking at I want to work on like the little reward thingies you guys can do with your channel points. And I want to make some easy fun ones. And I want to open my OBS because I put this here. Where is it? Ha. And this popped up as soon as I opened Twitch and I thought I had done something wrong because it started loading a pop up and I was like, oh no, what I click, what I click. And then I saw that. So that kind of surprised me for sure. I'm sorry for the ads because I just realized that like now it runs ads, I guess. Um, but yeah, it does feel like nice. I was like so tempted to start messaging it everywhere. I don't like to. Hmm. I don't know. I like to say I don't brag, but I probably brag. Wait, no. No, I think I did that. Yeah. See, it just changed it from score to score text. I saw it that time. I I knew it's been doing that to me. It's changing what I type. That's so frustrating, especially if I don't notice it, because I'm looking at what I'm copying. Hmm, I guess that's my problem. That's what you get for copying, right? I do have my mic on, right? Text equals. I was supposed to copy paste that, but whatever. I remember I'm supposed to copy paste it halfway through typing it. Okay, and then you learn more like this. Yeah, yeah. And I get to practice my typing, the need I need to be doing. Okay, I actually want to see
Make sure
theirs.
you call update score and just pass it.
Okay, so I put an O. Okay. I always thought it was like a little, like someone was having a fun day when they put 0 and O next to each other on the keyboard. Right. So I just add it. What did they do?
0 because we're not adding anything to it. And then just to test it out, in your spawn target method, add an update score call and just pass it the number 5 so that when you play your game, you should see it update too.
All right. Now, let's see. It's doing its little compiling. No errors. What? That's a first. So, okay. I'm getting points. Yay. Look at that. I have the official high score. All right. Add score when targets are destroyed. Wait, it was. Wait. Create. All right. Don't get hung up on the title. Just let's see what they have to say.
Now, we've set up our code so that we can update our score through a method.
Hmm? Um, by the way, there is a typo in the title. It should be Unity 6, not Unity 5. Hmm. Huh? Unity 5? Where does it say? Where does it say Unity 5? Oh, huh? Do you mean like, sorry. The streaming title, sorry. Oh, yeah. Well, it's technically lesson 5 of my lessons. I think that's why I put the 5. It is misleading, isn't it? Thanks for pointing that out. I'll keep that in mind. It's, yeah, Unit 5, UI and Unity. Okay, yeah, I'm just reading my own title now. I'm just so excited to be on this last one. It's been educational, but I'm a little tired of this learning format from this exact thing. Where did I leave off? All right, here we go. Yeah. Unit. Oops. That's okay. You're not alone. It should be kind of fairly obvious. You see the mistakes I make. Yeah. Okay.
Did, but the problem is that our score is just updating every time an object spawns, which could be fine for some games, but in this case, we want to actually update our score when we click on one of the boxes. So we're going to change that in our code. Now, in our game manager class, this could be one place where we actually create our code to be able to figure out which one of our targets we're spawning and then accordingly assign points as a result to update our score. Another way that we could do this is by communicating between our two scripts. In our target script, because we're already checking when we click on one of these objects and destroy them as a result, this could be a really good place where we can add in this line of code to be able to update our score. The problem is we can't just type in update score because our program has no idea what we're trying to do. Because update score lives in our game manager script. What we're actually going to need to do is get a reference to our game manager script that's attached to the game manager already inside of our scene so that way we can get the live data as it happens. To do that, we'll need to start by creating a reference to that game manager. So we need private, and then we can type game manager. So this will be our game manager script, and we'll just call it the game manager because that's what it is. Now, in our start method, where we're assigning all of the different components, this is where we can assign our game manager to be the game manager script of our actual game. So we need to use game manager. We'll set this. Now we need to actually find the game object that is our game manager that we already have in our project. So we use game object, and we have to find, and in this case we're finding the actual name of our object. So it's game space manager. And then now that we've found the game manager object, we actually need to get the script from it. So we dot get component, and then we use our left and right carets, type game manager. So this will get us the game manager script. So now we have a reference to our game manager with our game manager variable. Now, what we should be able to do in our on mouse down method is if we use game manager for a variable, and then we type dot, similar to how we have random dot range
Oh, welcome
to call
back.
methods from other classes. In this case, we're calling a method from our
You just
game
missed the boring
manager
video.
script. Should be if we type
I'm sorry about ads. I need to get like that little bot that warns people, I guess. Mm. Glad you're back.
update, send message upwards. Interesting. So I don't actually see, I don't see that method in there. If I go to my game manager script,
Hmm?
let's see.
It's not your fault, and it's not Twitch. Everyone does what they can to survive now. Yeah, right? Well, I didn't know that came with affiliate until I was sitting here and I started seeing 'cause I opened my phone to watch chat, but I don't get the ads myself. So, yeah, that is true. Thanks.
Update score. So the problem is because update score is actually a private method right now, only
Sad
other
fruit.
methods inside of our game manager script
I'm not sad.
can see it. Similar to how we make our variables public to see them in Unity, if I make this method public and then I save our game manager, now in our target script, if I type in dot and I put update, there you go. So update score is now a public
Hmm.
method. So now I can update this.
So, hey, coffee and cantrips. Welcome. Thank you for chatting. And I see ads, they support you and Twitch as a service. Everyone wins, right? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not gonna hate on the ads. All right. I just want to be able to warn you guys and myself. So I'm not like responding to you and you're not even hearing me, Because I've been on that end of it. Like I'm watching a stream and I drop a comment and then the ad pops up and I'm like, huh, yeah, I think they're responding to me, but I don't know. Hmm. So I just want to make it nice for everyone. Because I see people wait. I can do that. I got absolutely zero problem, you know? But thanks for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not sad. I don't feel bad. I just feel like I need to learn. I need to set it up the way that makes me happy.
Outside
That's
of
all.
the game manager script itself. So now whenever I click on one of the boxes, our score should be updated by 5. In game manager, I just want to make sure that I remove the update score from the spawn target because that's pretty useless. Save that script. And now, if I test my game in Unity, when I click one of the objects, my score updates by 5 every time.
It was already doing that.
So, what you're going to do in your game manager script, under spawn target, remove the line for your update score, so we don't need that anymore. And then in our update score, you're actually going to add the public keyword to the method, so that way we can call it outside of the script. In our target script, you're going to create a reference variable for our game manager. In your start method, you're actually going to find that game manager, specifically the game object that's already in our scene, and you're going to get the component of its game manager script. And then in the on mouse down method, just make sure to update the score by 5 every time we destroy one of the game objects. Now it's your turn.
Hmm. So, for sure, that's very well put. I had hoped Twitch would implement a speech to text service for something while the ads run. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice if you guys had like closed captions just start out in chat. That'd make for an interesting hmm, speech to text. I suppose it could be made. Don't give me these ideas. I mean, if you can connect a game to chat, which I have not successfully done in reverse. I've had chat, I've had the game read chat, but not the game put anything into the chat message. But if it could, couldn't it just be listening, use a closed caption, and feed it? I suppose you could make one. Okay, it's a wonderful idea. It's an excellent idea. So glad I had it. All right, now let me. Uh, what is this? It's gonna have me redo everything so that it still does what it already does. That gets confusing because you start to lose purpose for what you're doing. Uh, I should. Okay, in game manager script, Make the update score method public. Okay. Where hmm, these notes are so confusing. Oh, down here, the void update score. I get confused sometimes when they put these extra ones. It sounds like they're referencing when it says public or private. I always just think up here. So, public void update score. Okay. And then in here, they wanted to remove what I just put in. And that's it. Then I need to save, go to my other script. Yeah, I'm impressed you got through the course. I see a lot of instructions. I'd be overwhelmed. Yeah, you just gotta take it slow and don't feel bad if you gotta, read it a dozen times and watch the video a couple extra times. As long as you get it in the end. Sometimes I'm sitting here just staring silently. That's the hardest for me about especially streaming at the same time. I end up, hey, sometimes you just gotta take a breath and then just read it from the beginning. So this is gonna get a private, that's a private game manager, right here. This is what I always want to see their actual thing. Yeah, so they put it here. I'd rather do the same. Game manager, game manager. One time I accidentally deleted the numbers from here and I on a different game and it took me forever to figure out that's what was going wrong. Okay, so then in void start. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Um, it made noise. Subscribed. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the subscription. Enjoy your ad-free viewing. Happy to have you here. Thank you. Oh yes, you get all the little emotes. Number one. Okay. Hmm. You also get access to the Minecraft server when I'm on there. Hee hee. Alright. So, void start. I need to look at theirs. Game manager. It's like, where they put that? It's right. And they don't delete anything. That's you guys are too much. I was sharing this on social media somewhere else. It's like my viewers are the best. You guys are always helping me, and you're patient with my um, non-knowing self. And personally, mm, I tried to tutor in math back in school because one to help my teacher help the younger classmen, and I learned I'm not really, could never be a teacher. I have so much respect for, for that because, yep, it's just not in my skill set. See here, is there supposed to be a space there or not? I, they wrote this, like, I swear, um, so, so sneaky like. Huh. Wait, it should be capitalized, or manager. And then it decapitalized it on me. Is that going to be a problem later, I wonder? Hmm. It goes both ways. Thank you for streaming and being inspiring, Takes a lot of inner strength to stream and share the learning process. Yeah, thank you for acknowledging that. It does. I was really scared to start with. I'm not gonna lie. My first video, like, yeah, it has been always hard. Is not hard to be a teacher when the student wants to learn. The problem when it is just there to pass time. Yeah, yeah. Yes and no. Well, yeah. No, you're totally right on that one. Yeah, you're totally right on that one. Yes, make it capitalized. That is the name of the class. Thank you. I think like Visual Studios just started recently correcting more. I want to say because I saw like social media posts of people complaining about it. That should be it. And then, oh wait, okay, good. For a second there, I thought I was in Game Manager when I'm supposed to be in Targets because I've done that before. Especially when you're like inside Start or Update, like they're in all of them. So, where did they add this line? Above or below?
Of its game manager script.
All right. They did destroy object, and then update score, which makes sense. Yes. Yes, by the way, if you want, I can send you DM our game dev channel on Discord. The official guide to correctly set up VS Code for Unity. Sure. Definitely. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah. I'll send it however. Mm. See if there's any tweaks I want to change. I do want to change it where it doesn't keep popping up every time I open it. Hmm. You can put it on the channel. So, in case I want to look at it more than once. And it could help others, possibly. So is that all the changes? Oh, wait, no. I gotta put a 5 here. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Well, it's always best to get the information from the horse's mouth, right? Okay. So, like, this is. I don't even know how to tell. So, okay, my score is updating all the same. So, no, it stopped updating at 10. Wait, wait, I'm so. Oh, am I losing points for the bombs or something? Or I'm only making points for the items? Wait, or am I just terrible at playing my own game and I'm missing? I think I'm just terrible at playing my own game. What? I don't know. You are the expert about animals and cakes. It's a saying. Let's get it straight from the source. Expert. Well, moving to the next section. A point value to each target. That sounds fun.
Great. So now when we play our game, every time we click on one of the different objects that spawn, it updates our score by 5. Now, the one problem is we have these skulls, right, and they should be decreasing our points because they're bad objects. So we're going to set that up in our code. In our target script, what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a new public variable. So this will be a public. Since we pass an int to our method, this will be an integer, and we'll call it point value. Now in Unity, if we actually go into each of our prefabs, you can see that on our target script, there's now a point value that we can apply. So with our skulls, we'll make them -10. With our first crate, we'll set this to be 5. In our second crate, we'll set this to be 10. And then in our third crate, we'll set this to be 15. So now each of our prefabs has a point value assigned to it. Now back in our target script, we can change the 5 in our update score to be the point value. And now when we test our game, because each of these different scripts on all of the different prefabs are all unique in their own way applied onto each of these different objects. Now, if we play our game and we press play, we should see different point values. That one goes up. That one's 5. I think this is 15. Perfect. So we have our score updating every time we press one of these different boxes. Now, the cool thing is, because of our target script, each of the point values is assigned uniquely onto each prefab, so they each have their own value. We could do this a different way, where in our on mouse down, we could check by name which object we're actually assigned to right now. So for example, if it's that first crate, then we can update the score using an if statement. However, that's a bit more work and a lot more coding, which is something if you want to do, you can. Otherwise, you can use this method where we make the point value public, and then you can assign it differently onto each different prefab. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new public int for your point value. In on mouse down, you're going to change the 5 to be the point value. In Unity, you're going to go into each of the prefabs, update the point value underneath the target script, and then when you test it out, you should see that all the values are different as you click each of the different objects. Now it's your turn. The value
All right, my turn. My favorite thing is any public variable that you get to set in the inspector. That is the absolute um uh it's just fun. You can play with them so easy. Like even during game mode, you can change the values and stuff. Okay, so is that all I do in here? Oh, no, no, no. Then I have to change my mouse down. So, wait. Did I put it inside on trigger, not on mouse down. Was it still strangely working? If you excuse me a second, I'm going to scream at my home lab and I'll be right back. Okay. Home lab. I didn't get that one. Uh, in reference to setting up everything public. No, 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 like everything. You don't have to make everything public. The public ones are fun. They're the more fun variables versus the private ones where you have to, write lots of interesting stuff in code for. Make everything public. Okay. I think I did the changes I need in here. Let me double check that it didn't change my spelling on me. Nope. Okay. So far, so good. And then I gotta set their values, and I get to make their value, right? Should show up here. I want to do funny numbers. I'm entertaining myself now. You just terminate half of the computer sciences teachers in the world with your comment about the public being fun. What? What? What do you mean terminate half of the computer science teachers? Well, my condolences to the teachers. Also made very fun scores. It's not going up. It's not adding. Oh no. My score is not multiplying or mm, increasing. I only got 7. What did I do wrong? I feel like I made this mistake earlier on. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, remember what did you modify? What did I modify? On mouse down. Wait, let me go for yourself. So yeah, I was supposed to have written this there, so I was correct in fixing that. But point value? Mm, hmm, not. It's a code problem. Not. Wait. The object already in the scene, not the prefab. But what do you use spawn? Um, okay. No, it's spawning, right? Because those will just fall. And then it's making multiples. So, okay. Yeah, new ones are coming up. See, there's two of the same. So it's making clones. Oh, I know what you mean. I put the values. Thank you. Okay. Yep, yep. See, that's why I was supposed to delete these. That's my own personal bad habit. So go to my prefabs and I gotta assign the value there. So the newly created items can give me something to add up and score, right? Because they're all at zero probably. Thank you. Okay. This would be silly. Hmm. Well, I definitely got some hints that help point me in the right direction. I don't know why. I just don't want to do even numbers. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So I'm happy. Okay, so that still gives me no scores. But next they're gonna be like, let's make the bomb take away your points. See, doesn't it? I like the random numbers. You're like, you don't know what your next score is gonna be. Instead of like zeros at the end of everything. Oh, there's a zero. It's okay though. You know, we don't see unity, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tell me, yell at me. I think I'm gonna make a special emoji just for you guys to scream at me to minimize. I was also gonna make one that says error when there's errors. Okay, this is kind of fun. I won't lie. Okay. Well, the score went up. It's working. Oh, that's fun. 555. What was the chances of that one coming up? Okay. Now, next section. If you want a random score, you can use system random, by the way. Hmm, yeah. It's more about just like they can always equal the same, you know? Or is it? They can always equal the same, but um when it's adding, if you have like 10 and then 20 and then 30, it's just kind of like the numbers are a little boring, you know? You're like, you already know, you could start knowing in your head already what you're gonna have too soon. I don't know. That's just my own quirkiness. So, did this section. Now add a particle explosion. Got my attention.
Our score is now perfect and ready to go. So each time we click one of the different objects that spawn, it gives us a different number.
The number are a little boring. Open Unity and look inside. Wait, it's all math and numbers. No, now you're just picking fun at me. I mean, like, if your score is like 10, 20, 30, why even have the zero? It should just be 2, 3, 4, 5. You know? Nah, I see the.
Which is a lot of fun. You can see the score updates, but it definitely doesn't look or feel that cool when you click on the different ones. So we're going to up the coolness factor by a lot by using some particle effects. In our target script, we're going to create a new public variable so we can assign it in our editor. It'll be a particle system, and we'll call this the explosion particle. Now we want to make sure whenever we destroy one of our objects, we use our explosion particle. So in our on mouse down method, we're going to create a new explosion every time we destroy the game object. So we can actually instantiate our explosion particle. We'll set the position to be the position that our current game object is at. And we'll just set the particle to be at the same rotation that it was at before. Now, in Unity, just make sure that on each of the different prefabs, you open them up, and we need to assign them each explosion particles. So if
In
we
the
open up our course
prefabs.
library, we actually have some particle effects that we can already use. So I think for the case of our skull, we'll make it like, let's see, we'll make it like a green color. See what that looks like. For our first good crate, we'll make this something like yellow. For our second good crate, we'll make this something like a purple. And then for our third good crate, we'll make this something like, make it blue. Now, if we try our game again, if we click on one box, there's purple, yellow. This one should be green. Cool. Now we have these really cool eye-catching effects whenever we click on one of the different objects, and just makes our game feel a little bit cooler. So what you're going to do is in your target script, you're going to create your own public particle system variable. In your on mouse down method, where we destroy our object, we are then going to create a new explosion particle, and we'll make sure to set it to the current position of what our game object is at, and make sure the rotation is the same as the actual explosion particle. And then in Unity, just make sure you go to each of your different prefabs
In the
and
prefabs.
assign an
Telling
explosion
myself
particle
that.
from the course library folder in our particles folder, where there are a variety of different explosions that you can use. Now it's your turn.
Okay, fun fact. Today's fun fact about Unity. Years ago, the dark theme was available only for people who paid for Unity. The free user only had a light gray one. That's just cruel and unusual. Yeah, I was looking, I got like, at the Unity emails, I seen this email and they're trying to like sell $10 a month AI. And I was like, no, I don't need that. If I get that, I'm never learning. It's bad enough as it is. Yeah, I'm just glad to get Unity for free, tell you the truth. I remember when I first started looking, when you first search, I want to learn about game making, it's like, okay, you are now an ad target for everyone. Okay, I was thinking as this person was talking, they're like public particle, system explosion particle. And I was thinking to myself, could you make a list and then it fires off multiple particles? How fun would that be? But I'm like, I'm just gonna follow the instructions for now. You know, gotta follow the recipe the first time you cook something. Then you can experiment with substitutions. Okay, so just checking my mic real quick. So where's my on mouse down? There it is. And between the two. Hmm. Yes, that's how it should be. But when actually cooking, we all cheat. I don't know about that. Are you stick to the recipe or like I just make food. Let's see what it is when I get done. I can be either or. Position. Particle. Nope, I felt that typo. Date score. Point. Well, now their parentheses are. I didn't. What? Well, again with a cake. Well, what? Well, again as a cake that became a fox girl. You know better than anyone else. The cooking rules. Sure. I did start with baking. The recipes are easy to follow. Position. Like some point I wait a second. I think I just totally skipped a word. Go over the squiggly red line and look at what VS. What? No, I wrote it wrong. I I I I skipped. I started typing the line below it right about here because I'm I'm an uh, okay, explosion particle. And then I just went below and started doing update score instead of transform rotate. Okay. Hopefully I'm just okay. Yeah. How is it I make something so easy so difficult sometimes? Okay. So, what are you mad at me about now? Trans I'm missing the I. I knew it was a typo. Like, I get this error often. If it's certain words, I know I've typed it wrong. Yay. Okay, now I go to prefabs, not the things in the actual scene. And give them a particle. Where are the particles? Where is full screen this for a second. Hello? Notifications. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Welcome and enjoy your ad-free viewing. Thanks. Right now I'm just trying to find particles inside this. Yeah, 90% of the errors are just because Visual Studios isn't liked when is this the right word? Okay, so just under materials, I had to full screen that so I could zoom in on their files. Oh, there it is right there. I should have seen that. Particles. Let's see. They have theirs in list format. Makes it easier. That's black, blue, brown. Well, let's do brown because the prop is brown. Okay. Back to these prefabs. This one, lock it. Particles. Let's find red. Or maybe yellow. Yellow. Yeah, I want yellow. Wait, I gotta scroll. There we go. Yep. And I gotta make sure. I almost hit the ones in the scene again. Alright, so prefabs. I did those two, not this one. And particles. They have white. White would be good for this one, maybe. Oh, you know what? Just for fun, we're doing purple. It's like And then last but not least, this one. Okay, particles. Should I make it pink? I was thinking orange from earlier. Okay, explosion, particles. That's the place. There we go. You get no points. Should I do like, if I put a negative, I wonder if it would take from the score. But I'm not going to play around. Not at least to the end of the lesson. And I save it. And I get to test it. Ah. Oh, those look too alike. The yellow and orange are like exactly alike. Okay. The purple looks awesome. Wait, that's yellow. That's yellow. It's yellow. 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 Why are they all seeming? And then that's purple. That's supposed to be purple. Is that purple still? Like you, I can, I can see the difference, but it's just not enough. Okay. I want to change these colors. We'll start with this one. No yellows. Hmm. Wish I had like a preview. Okay, I'll do black. I'll do black for this one. It at least will stand out. Then unlock it and go to the other one. And I'll at least change this one. That gets the yellow, purple, black, and then this will get something. That's supposed to be brown. That did not look brown at all. Blue, blue, blue should work. At least it's visually different. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. I'll take a little hydration break. Okay. Quotes. Okay. Quoting a famous developer that used Unity before vanishing. Unity's particle system, a great system for making all sorts of particles in Unity. I like that. It's like you just gonna like low key drop before vanishing. Like that implies it's like mystery, intrigue. Oh, that was it. Lesson recap. Yay. All right, new functionality. No, no, he's alive. Maybe just stop doing content. Well, let's hope they just retired and like enjoy different activities now. Okay, so yes, woohoo, complete with this tutorial. All right, I'm gonna read it. Lesson recap. New functionality. There is a UI element for score on the screen. The player's score is tracked and displayed by the score text when hit a target. There are particle explosions when the player gets an object. And new concept and skills, Text Mesh Pro, Canvas, anchor points, import libraries, custom methods and parameters, calling methods from other scripts, And in the next lesson, we'll use some UI elements again, this time to tell the player the game is over and reset our game. All right. Oh, it's all done. What? Uh, it just logged. I guess I was logged out, but that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah. Now the big decision is, do you guys want to play around on one of my games, or do you want me to keep going on my units? You know, I think you are like one of the 5 people in the whole world following this lesson and not a YouTube tutorial. Sorry for cackling. Um, hmm. Thank you, thank you. I like to think I'm a rare one. Nah. Well, I mean, this is a good way to learn. I'm not, I'm not gonna lie. Your stream, your choice. We will follow. Aw, that's so sweet. Hmm. Decisions, decisions. How many more I need to finish this? That's challenge 5. 2 more sections. Hmm. Hmm. I want to do something different. I'll finish this stuff up later. The 2 units. At this point, I'll like not be paying as close of attention. So, hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Sorry, I'm so indecisive. Part of me wants to. I got this one little game I started for fun, and I haven't had a chance to get back to it. It was my second personal project, I think. Yeah, for this course, they have you do like a challenge project on your own, and I'm opening it. Hee hee. Oh, that's so funny. I was just reading the rare comment. That's funny. Oh, I already decided. My personal interest pulled me. Okay, I'm gonna save this and close it. Um, Hold on. Take a little hydration break too. All right. Exit this. Feel free to. Oh my goodness, I'm such a dodo right now. I'm so silly. Okay, I was literally trying to drag and drop my Unity into my OBS scene. Like I just picked it up and was like, I'm just gonna drag it there. Hmm. Alright, that's the opening project, and it should become viewable. Hold on. There we go. And I'm gonna close this. I just want to play around in um, a little silly game I started. I did all the aspects I needed for my project, um, but I wanted to actually like finish this out a little because I started having a lot of fun with it. And let's see. I changed the way I like this. It's like, yeah, like that. So, and quickly, I'll just open up any old script so I can get the scene set. So this game is like a little slime. You see the little blue ball? That's the slime. And I got it to where like other orbs appear. They look like watermelons and you can move around. I had a really hard time getting this and during this game I learned a lot about how you set the character to move. I spent one night playing on this game and probably went through every different option on how you can make a character move. Hold on. And um so yeah. And let's see, make this thing visible for you guys. So this one should be, you see it? Okay, there it is. And I'll just set it up like I had the last one. I think that works. Hmm. Thank you. There we go. And yeah, these are little things. Always pop up. All right, so I made this little guy. This is the villain. Wait, this is the villain. He has nothing except his little experience, his existence. He has his existence. That is it. In the game mode, he falls over. Ah, sorry, sorry, sorry. I already know I'm doing it. Okay. But please promise me, for the love of the VTuber God, you'll follow the guide to link the editor properly for your and my sanity. Also, VS Code is blocking Unity. Oops, window. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, let me know. Let me know. I'm trying to teach myself. I'm trying to keep it on top of mine, so I have to minimize it to see it. But then I see like a little edge of Unity and I just click it. So bad hand. All right. So let me refamiliarize myself with this little game. So I'm just gonna hit play mode real quick. We should see it fall over. Okay, I want to change the way I keep. This is so different now. There we go. Oh, it didn't fall. Oh no, we got. Uh-oh. Okay, they're not going through the floor. That's good. Um, I'm not moving. Uh-oh. I'm just spinning. The sky and the wall around is very cute. Oh, thank you. I was kind of happy the trees lined up in the corners. Man, what did I do? My little guy won't move, and this thing isn't even falling. So different. All right, let's see what's going on with my player. Hmm, well, let's look in the controller script. Hmm. Okay. Why is it not moving? Did I set something to 0 up here by accident? No. Hmm. Okay. Let me let me see if it can jump still. I'm gonna press space. Okay, well I'm still jumping. That's something good. But it's just and it'll turn, but it's not moving forward. Did I lock it in the inspector somehow? Or it could be gravity too much. Well, what if I do like a really low number and try it and see if that makes a difference? I don't know if I really want to put 0 gravity. Okay, it was the gravity. Yay! Yay, that was a nice simple solution. But I think I affected gravity for everything. Whoa, and I just went through the wall. Well, that's new. Okay, we're gonna stop. Let's add just a little bit more gravity, I think. I wonder what a 1 will do. Just keep it nice and normal. Not. I like this game. Aw, thank you. Did it have the collider, the wall, I mean? I will check. I will check. So, um, yeah, it has a collider. So, am I missing a checkbox? But I think one of the problems with that is if I'm not looking at it, it doesn't exist maybe. Because I found like that was an issue before when I was test playing, but I don't know if that's how it works, you know? So yeah, they all have colliders, like the box collider and mesh collider, and I made them is triggered. Was that wrong? Or, ooh, I never thought to check this. I didn't even know about editing colliders when I was working on this. So let me, no, it looks like it's right. Yeah. Maybe I slipped through a crack. I tried to overlap them. Ooh, hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And take a drink too. All right. Awi Valorn. Thank you. All right. Yeah, everything's really overlapped. Could that be the problem? All right. One thing at a time. Well, we got it moving. Now let's play with this guy. That's where I left off. Oh, wait. Test play with new gravity real quick. Actually pay attention to how those watermelon are spawning. Okay, they're falling. Oops. Okay, they're actually hitting the ground. That's good. And I can move decently. I'll tweak motion. What? This one's not... Okay. Fruit, the colliders are set to trigger. Okay, okay. Yes, they're set to trigger. And I don't fully comprehend the difference between is triggered and isn't triggered. Does okay, that means it can go through if I click it. So I want it unclicked. Thank you. If that's the case. Yes. Okay, okay. See, these are the little things. Thank you. And the sky, I didn't even mess with that. And this is the ground. I'm not touching it. I had to remake it once because it kept falling away. And I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. So I just made a new plane, threw the picture on it, and was like, hey, it works. Okay, let's try. Let's see if I go through the wall. And I'm gonna try to back into it too. So I'm not looking. Oh, and it stopped me. Yay. Oh, I'm going super fast. So what's gonna happen with this game, the idea that I'm working on, is you collect these things, right? And then you're gonna get points. And at a certain time though, they're all gonna get replaced. Every single one of these game objects in the scene will get replaced with a villain and you have to fight for a timer amount. So it's like it becomes your turn. That was my, yeah, look at that. That's just my thing I'm working on. Okay. Collider is a physic, physics, physics object. If you make it trigger, it means the physic object can move through because the interaction will cause Unity to call one of the on trigger events on trigger leave. Oh, okay. Oh, of course, is triggered sets all the on trigger thingies. Trigger. Yeah, thank you for explaining that. That'll help me a lot going forward because I would just play with it back and forth trying to figure out what the difference was. It's a lot better when you have that light bulb moment. Okay, so movement isn't great. I'm not gonna get hung up on it. The camera follows it. That's okay. Maybe like a little bit of a different. Nope, I can't mess with that right now. It's like I have to take it off there to mess with it. Wait, no. Can I do this? Hmm? Oh, I can. Okay. Now this little guy is, well, he's going to be triggered, right? Because he's going to hit things. I have two capsule colliders. I, I guess I could delete one. They kind of look like they got different choices. Hmm? Hey. Huh? Oh, that's weird. I heard a notification. Sometimes they repeat on their own, but oh, followed. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. It's very nice of you. Okay, so hmm, yes, new follow, yay! New follow from Awen Phalorn. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hmm. You guys are so supportive. Thank you so much. I think I can delete the second collider, right? I delete it? If I remove it? Seems fine. Now, see, we destroyed it. We gotta move in. We got a spawn manager. Then I'm gonna need a new one for the enemy, right? And then inside spawn manager is probably where I'll have it. Because he just needs motion. Letting that load. Huh? Wait. Wait, what? Sing mode, I can actually redeem it. Save your points. Don't you dare. Look, those are all the originals. The only thing I changed was the hydration one and whatever Pofu ones because I used to have like a little companion that was like a little pet fox. That was Pofu. And through the app it was like it updated it for me. I plan on changing them. Sing mode should be more expensive. You're really trying to mess with me now. Oh, that's too funny. Change it to rhyming mode. I can rhyme. We lost my focus now. Okay. How am I going to make this villain? Should I just make it chase the player? What do I do? I'm waiting for pick a game. Okay. All right. All right. That's that's getting put on there for sure. Definitely pick a game. I had like this little list. Now I'm looking for my piece of paper in my notebook. Oh, here's my notes from this game. Hmm. I had started writing ideas for the, what do you call them? The rewards? Power-ups? Oh, there it is. Here it is. So I was going to do power-up rewards. Blow bubbles, and I was going to make a thing that looks like bubbles are being blown all over the screen. I was going to do a daily check-in, because a lot of people have daily check-ins, and I like doing those. Say hi, hydrate, and now I'll add pick a game. So, any ideas? Feel free to throw them out right now. Because then I gotta make like the little um, reference image. So I'll have all my list, I'll make my reference images, and then I'll add them all at one time. Channel rewards is the official name. Pick a game is already preset just for your information. Okay, but I still probably gonna update the reference image because they just have like little circles, don't they? Mm-hmm. Hmm. I think about all the details. No, I don't. I forget stuff all the time. uh, hmm, my focus is pretty broken right now. Okay, so I know I need to call for its rich body. It has a rich body, and then I need to tell it to like follow the player, right? Seek and destroy. Okay, so how do you call for ridge body? This ridge body, ridge body. This is where I get so flustered. Mm. Huh? First time chat. Hey, Owen. A few things trigger is more for if you want something to happen. If, for example, the player walked through a doorway and you wanted it to play a ding noise. A wall should not be triggered if you want things to actually touch it. Okay, thank you. I'll remember that for the ding noise. Make a doorway have a trigger. I like that. I was so confused on how to make the doorways on my original game because I was trying to learn how to make buildings too. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. Yeah. I want to open examples. Huh? Hmm. I um this is where I struggle and I hate this. Like the stage fright hits me when I have to type in anything on my own. Okay. Hmm. Trigger registers that something touched it, but things passed through. Yeah, that is. And then so that's kind of what confused me for a while because it was like is triggered. I thought just meant that it could read being touched, kind of like on contact. So it took me a while to comprehend that it makes it like passable. Actually, you guys seen me comprehend it just recently. So, yeah. Hmm. Okay, I need to see examples. Okay. I'm searching. Hmm. I have a monoscript for Unity, and I'm adding mm, motion for it to follow the player. Hmm. Also, if you want to reference the ridge body component, the first letter needs capitalization. Yes, that's why I was pulling up examples because I already had a feeling I was off on the wrong direction. So sometimes you know you're not doing it right, but if you don't know what's right, what are you to do? It's terrible limbo. I have monoscript for Unity and I'm adding motion. I think I just have to write these simple scripts 1,000 times. Thank you. And eventually memorization will take place. So, huh. When I asked Google for help, I'll show you what I got. And it's like not even telling me to call for a ridge body. So, and I can see why, because it's gonna go on the item. So it just needs to tell it what to do. That is so funny. Okay, okay. I want to share this. Let's see. Wait. Is this in use? This is not in use. Okay. Okay. Bring this to the top. Mm. Okay. So this is what it's telling me to do, to have it follow the player. So it's gonna look for the player. And I guess I'll be able to control how fast it goes after the player. And it's probably going to move better than the player does at this point because make them always look at the player. That's pretty smart to consider. Smooth. You need a character controller? Or the NPC one. This is for the enemy to follow the player. I just want the enemy to follow the player. So once you get outnumbered by them, they're just swamping you. So at this point, I was just gonna give this little guy here motion. Let me see. Sorry. Minimize this. So I'm gonna give the villain here motion just to follow the player. And eventually it'll cause an effect, like taking away the score or damage. I haven't really decided that one yet. So I think I'm just gonna be crazy with it and throw my ideas in. Let's see. I'm gonna change this. If it'll let me. Hmm? Unity has a thing that does that called Navi Mesh Agent. You would need to add a couple components though. Hmm. That is true. That would be better than just finding the location of the player with the tag. Of course, that'd be better. Hold on. I'm throwing myself to the wind on these ideas, and I'm gonna see what happens. Ha. Let me rename it. There we go, finally. Um, follow player. That's what it was. Let's just see if it works. I wonder, since I made this guy, do I have to like turn him into a prefab and then pull him back into the scene before adding script? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so I have my little enemy guy here, and I made him out of all these things. Can I just put the script right on the enemy in the top, or do I have to like turn it into a prefab and drag it back into the scene? Or would it really matter either way? Wonder how they're different. Oh, it can be added to the enemy. I would know she's new to Unity, so Navi Mesh could be much more complex. Yeah, maybe. I tried it on one thing and I. By the way, Fruit, the Gemini is still up. Thank you. Sorry. There we go. I'm gonna try to remember to minimize everything, and it's a good practice for me because I have the worst habit of piling open windows everywhere. Thank you. Okay, so oh, it changed this into a thing. That's kind of cool. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna delete this one for now. And to prevent confusion, I think I'll delete this. Hmm? Yes. Wait, we'll delete what's in my scene. Let's not delete that. I'll just work on it. We'll give it the script. Wait, no. Yeah, yeah. We'll give it the script. I know, right? It's it's a little bit, but significantly less coding to get moving. Okay, prefabs. This guy, lock it, go to scripts. Why is just getting a script on something gotta become so... Okay, there we go. Okay, so player that it's gonna follow should go here, right? What? Huh? Huh. The age-old dilemma, finish the game without understanding why it works or learning but slowing the development. Well, hmm. My whole thing is learning right now, so definitely in the favor of learning. Object in the scene, not the prefab. Objects in the scene? Huh. I had this locked. Okay. I think. Ooh. Yeah, drag the player in the scene and the player transform in the prefab. Huh? Okay. Mm, huh? Doesn't let me. It's so weird. It won't let me put it in to the prefab one, but it did let me put it in the one. Am I looking at the wrong? Prefabs can't see what's in the scene. Oh. Haha. So then I take this one and drag it down here. Wait, I should rename it first. Marine. Hmm. 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 Nah, I'm deleting this. Let's see what happens. Wish me luck. Okay. And I'll drag that there. Now does it have it assigned? No. But that makes no sense. It just has to be set while in the scene. Go fruit. The only way to learn is to brick few dozens of projects. Yes, I know. I know. Enjoy my struggles. Okay. I know one day I'm gonna look back on these videos and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, look how dumb I was. Okay. Hmm. A little voice in my head keeps saying, they did mention a good idea with the Navi mesh. It is tempting. Would that be able to tell but this is the confusing thing. Okay. If I go in Spawn Manager now in my code and I tell it to, oh, the timer runs out, turn every watermelon prefab in the scene into an enemy prefab, will the prefab spawn with no knowledge of what to follow? So that's a problem. I need the the enemy to be able to spawn or replace everything in the scene and come with intelligence. Yep, you would need to add something in the start of the enemy script to set that. Okay. So just be like, instead of like the public transform player thing, drag a player object, could I just have it like look for game object tagged player? And would I do that here? And then I'd probably have to like fix the whole thing. So you still need that variable? Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for stopping me. Hmm. I don't know. If you want to set the variable in start, you need to add a new void. Oh. Okay. Should I do it below or should I do it above? Because it's going to be a void start, right? That should be above everything. Whoops. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, so and then it would be like player transform equals what code editor are you using? I'm using Visual Studios, I think it's called. Um, shoot. Yeah, I think it's called Visual Studios. Like, I was strictly in Notepad maybe a month ago until a very helpful, you know, chatter came on and was telling me about this. Is not linked to Unity. No, it's not linked to Unity, but it will be. I was sent instructions that I will be following this afternoon. Speaking of which, looking at the time. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Pin. We'll be looking at those instructions later on how to link them together. Okay. So, mm, 2 minutes and you will save a lot of time. Well, I'm going to do it. I definitely am. I'm just not going to do it right now. But I promise you I will. Okay. Pinky promise. Okay, but if you tell me how, I'll do it. But I still want to watch the video and learn. Because I'll probably have to do it for everything always, right? Yeah, that is what I'm trying to tell her since the live started. Hmm. Okay, okay. I see how it is. You two ganging up against me now. All right, tell me how. You want me to do it right now? I will. What I save this. Save it first. These fruits. Hey. Okay, edit, preference. And I probably have to do this for everything, don't I? So I'm pretty sure I did it once. Look, wait. Huh? External tools. What does this say? Oh, sorry. Oh, you guys can't see the pop-ups. Unity is blocked. Is that better? Hmm. I don't know. Let's see real quick. Try to, nope. Okay. Block by Visual Studios. Okay. Ah, I figured out. There. Huh. I I made the little pop-up show. External script editor should be the top option. External script editor. Look, it says Visual Studios Code though. Oh, should it be this one? The 18. Oh, you're not seeing the drop down, are you? It gives me another option. You can do it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. So, to this? Or I'm supposed to like check things? Hmm. Yes, but she also needed to install the package from Unity Asset Store. At least the guide says that. Y'all are cracking me up. All right, I changed it. I changed it to that one. We're gonna see what happens. I'm exiting. We're gonna go back to the game. See what's the difference here. Of course. Oh, oh, it loaded. So it now wants me to log in. Oh, to Unity, good. uh, sign into Visual Studios. Yeah, I'm signing in. It's just taking a minute because I didn't realize I had to press the button continue. We can see double. I don't know why you're seeing double. Just let's just make that go away for a minute. Um, development settings. Uh, it's asking me JavaScript, general, basic, C sharp, C++, web development code only. Should I stick with general? That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm doing dark mode and I'm starting it. And it took my whole screen. Big full screen. Okay. Uh, let's try opening one of these now. Scripts. Enemy. And it went full screen again. I just resized it. Um, this is weird. Okay, from the guide, the Unity extension for Visual Studio's code depends on the Visual Studio's editor Unity package. In Unity, open up Windows packages. Okay, in Unity, open up Windows packages. Package Manager. Make sure the Visual Studio's editor package is upgraded to 202 or above. I'm gonna assume this is it. And Visual Studio's editor. Yeah, it's Package Manager in the newer version. 2.026. That's what it says I have. So that's what it says. This is okay. Wait a second. I had both of them open. Um, yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, it's just a little fun game. I put not enough in it to be worried. Let's see. But this is, I'm gonna show you what I'm seeing. It's not showing me anything. That's that's the thing. Okay. See? I go to click to open the code and it just gives me that. It's, it's like so different looking. Um, cause that isn't the code. Scroll down. Scroll. There's nothing. You can't scroll. See where it says you need to install extra components in the top right? Huh? Based on your solution, you might need to install extra components. I see that. I clicked it. I hope I was supposed to. Okay, it's you don't have the Unity extension installed apparently. I guess not. But gonna fix that. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Trusting it. All right, now it's uploading stuff. It said updated Visual Studios check. Yep, that's the main problem at the end of the day. Now it's downloading and verifying. Yep. Installing package 60 of 315. Holy moly. And um I should probably leave this alone while that's doing that, shouldn't I? That's okay. Even if you say no, it's still Microsoft. They will do it even if you don't want to in the end. The next update, yeah, it is Microsoft program. It shouldn't be any more of a security concern than Windows usually is. Yeah, yeah, I'm not actually worried. Should we make something while we're waiting? Make another little villain for fun? Mm. Make a alternative. There's also extension in the VS Code that should be more lightweight, but do not quote me on that. Yes. I'm going to quote you. It's recorded. It's like, uh, what? This didn't work. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Do for fun things. Almost done. It's like more camouflaged. This took slightly longer than I was expecting. I downloaded Visual Studios for Unity, and the setup was pretty quick. Well, it might be affected by the fact that I'm streaming and my internet's using that. Or, maybe just got better connection than me. Or it's my own slowness. The installation has completed. Close. Okay. Mm. I'll minimize this. Let's see. Let's try to open a script and see what happens. And go for enemy. Hmm? Ah, yes. Take your time. Thank you. There it is. It actually showed up. All right. Hmm? And why did duplicate that again? Hmm? Is that it? Okay. It has totally different. Right, there it goes. All right. Now we have this. Why is it called miscellaneous files? What will be so different? I'm curious. And I've almost completely forgot what I was doing. I'm pretty much hitting that mark for myself. Goofiness starts to take over. Okay, so let's just look at those errors. That's what I'll do. Huh? You were trying to do something like transform player transform equals game object, find game object with tag. Yes, I was. You're right. And I think it was. I was confusing my. Wait a second. I got myself so confused, didn't I? Hold on. So I was supposed to rename this. That's what I forgot to do. And then I got confused. Wait, no. I have two of these now. Follow player will go on the enemy to make them follow the player. And the enemy script I was just scrapping, I think. Are they the same? Sorry for going between these like this. It's like enemy, I gotta delete enemy. And then it's follow player that goes on the enemy because calling the script enemy would be too confusing. So then, okay. If I do void start, is that right? Oops. Hey, it didn't give me both of them. There we go. Um, You gave me exactly the thing. Okay, I'm a. I gotta resize this. Thing's like my whole screen right now. This has gotta go away. It's like go away. All right. Transform. Right? I feel like it. Transform. No, no, no. I knew I had that. And then it changes it. You wouldn't need the first transform as you declare that above just player transform. Okay. So if it corrects me, it's probably right. And I should think about that. Hmm. Player transform equals game object find with tag. Mm. Game object. Oh, look at that. It even started to do find. Find game. I think it's going good. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. The next test, the player's gonna have to run for their life. Totally. Autofill is a nice addition. It is. Object tag. Set up. Hmm? A. Does it need? Okay. Um. But might still be missing something. Mono behavior is still white. Your player is tagged player, right? It should be, but let's check. Let's just double check. 'Cause that is something I forget a lot. Yeah, player. It's tag player. I think I had to do that earlier for something else. All right. So, I don't think these have the script. They do have the script. And this one has the script. They both have follow player. So, I'm still not sure they can move though. They might just be like, whoa. Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna stop that. Um, where was that? Collider is a trigger again. Okay. All right. Oh, that's probably in the prefab, isn't it? Should get that right now. Yep. Okay. Let's Let's just see what that did. I'm pretty sure they're still a little fast moving. Like, what? Just want to see. They're just kind of. Well, they're following me, so that's kind of good. Yeah, I really got to work on how I have this character move. Because it can only move the way it looks with like the worst motion ever. Ah, shoot, right? I might need to click regenerate project files and external tools. Huh? Well, they're pretty cool. They follow. They don't follow. They follow at a radius. It's not really. It's funny, it's fun to see that you make your enemy camouflage, but then you hate the creepers for the exact reason. Did I say I hate the creepers? No, I hate the creepers because they don't burn up during daylight. And you can just end up with a lot of them hanging around. But I might have said that. I could definitely have said that. Although, all in all, I love the creepers. I mean, I got the creeper on like almost all my emojis. That's my little shirt, like a creeper shirt. And my Minecraft character has a creeper shirt. So it's a love-hate relationship with me and the creeper. I wish we could domesticate them. Give them a golden dandelion and they become um like like your pet. Okay. So we switched this trigger. It's kind of moving, but it's an ugly motion. The radius. Let's just see what happens if I drop that. Height? What's the point in that? That's just weird. That's why they're floating. I don't want that. No height. We'll leave the radius on 1 and see the difference. Direction? Oops. Suppose. No? No? No what? Did you say no to me? It's like, what? What? I'm on the wrong thing? Wait a second. Height is how tall the capsule is, not how up it is. Yeah. Where did I mess that up at? There it is. Yes, I'm an idiot. I was thinking I was inside this and it had those options. So, let me go back and fix this. That's how I always end up messing things up. Thank you. Okay. Now this is the offset. That's it. Right there. There it is. Yeah, if you set the offset to 0 there, it will aggressively smash itself into the player. That's what I want. Perfect. Perfect. Aggressively smash into the player. It must be aggressively. Yeah, let's do like 0.5 on this. Just for fun. Let's just see. And then what does Z do? I'll mess with 1 and just see the difference. Um Ah, behind. Okay. Well, it'd be nicer to see them. I'll make one a positive number. And look at that. So one will be like right in front. All right. And play. Did you add a collider to the player? I don't know. I think so. Oh, did I push them through the wall? I want to look at my inspector. Did I push them? I pushed them through the wall. I pushed them through the wall. And they're in the floor. But the other one wasn't. He does look severely mad. Okay. Well, that's kind of fun. So they can go through the wall. Um, hmm. Somebody mentioned something about a collider. I think the player has one. Yeah, they have a sphere collider, but well, it has. Why is it? Why is it going through the wall? Y is up. By the way, did you add a collider to the player? Y is up and down. Z is forward and backwards. X is left and right. Huh. I should put that on a post-it note on my screen because I forget it constantly. Okay, so just want to check the ground real quick and make sure it's not clicked. It's so weird. Why is the... Why are they going through everything? Wait, nope, wrong thing. Hmm. Change the collision detection on their ridge body to continuous. Oh, okay. Now let's give that a try, see if I can knock him through the wall. I mean, ultimately, I suppose I could have it. Oh, this is too much fun. Oops. Go. Oh, well, they came back. Oh, they're coming back because they're following me. Hmm. I suppose I could overlook the fact that they go through the wall. It could be seen as that they just go into the woods. Don't have to get hung up on it. It'd almost be like a challenge when you're fighting them. Like, they get to hide. Happy accidents, happy accidents. Discreet is good if they aren't moving fast or if the walls are not super thin. Yeah, these walls are, I believe, fairly thin. What I don't get is why is one in the ground, but the other one is not? Oh, is that's that Z or one of those choices I made, isn't it? You can make the wall box collider a bit thicker and it should stop them. Oh, okay. Oops, I'm trying to. I'm trying to move with my mouse, which I never set up. So imagine you're playing and all these guys turn into the bad guys, and then you have to fight them. It's kind of the premise. All right, so okay, wall box collider, and one of the enemies, it was this one, was zero point 0.5. Ah, wait, no. Huh? Oh, there it is. No, that's the one that's not in the floor. So, okay, this one should be zero point 0.5 also then. Let's see. And actually, okay, make this thicker. Let's go this side. Let's make it thicker. There we go. Fruitcakes, look up in the dev channel. I sent something for you. Okay, hold on. I gotta open Discord. It's loading. Oh, come on. Whoa. Okay. Where? Alright, now I popped on Discord again. Alright. Thank you. How does this work in Unity? Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Thanks, Pin. There it is. Just a little reminder. And I'll still be like, wait, what is he again? All right. Focus. Okay, I'm getting to my closing point now. I just hit 3 hours. All right, where are we gonna leave this? Hopefully in a better place than I found it. It is, I think. Let's see if we can not go through the walls. If we got the enemy following. That's something, something. Oh yeah, look at that. That box. I could still. I mean, that's kind of hilarious. It's like, but I guess I'll just keep three strikes you're out in mind. They could defeat him before they're in the wall. All right. The reason why they need to be thicker is Unity is dumb and can't tell which side it should be on if there are more than halfway through it. Thicker box means they can't pass the center as easily. Some stuff are really janky to fix as Unity begin Unity. Yeah. All right. Let me think. Ow, that was weird. Hand cramp. Um, so I'm at a good error-free spot. And lots of things I want to change, but I think I'm gonna call it there so I don't end up having to chase errors before closing. So, yeah, I think that would be it for me today. Thank you for your help and hanging out and joking with me and helping me and subscribing. Oh my gosh. Wow. You guys are awesome. And you know, if you haven't, there's a link to my Discord. You can join. Hmm. Essentially how it works in frame. Okay, okay, it's scrolling on me. I have a very small box. Okay, essentially how it works in frame one, the object is pushed in the collider. In frame two, Unity notices that the object is intersecting the collider and tries to find the shortest path to push it out the collider. The result is that if the wall is thin, it will be pushed out in the wrong direction. Oh, yes. I like that. Well, it's like the old superstition. You got to exit a different way than you came in. All right, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your dinners and your evenings. I know it's probably that time for you. If not, I don't know, just have fun doing whatever you're doing. All right. Bye.